What if I told you that the quiet man people ignored at the corner diner, the man who worked 2 jobs to raise his daughter alone, was once the kind of soldier whose name was only whispered in military briefings? That's exactly what this story is about. A father who carried secrets heavier than anyone could imagine, and a daughter who refused to let the world forget who he really was. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone who needs a reminder of the heroes living silently among us. It began on a rainy evening in a small town. Emma, a bright 14-year-old girl, was sitting in the police station, clutching her backpack after standing up for her father at school. A boy had mocked her, saying her dad was just some loser janitor, and definitely not a hero. Hurt and angry, she blurted out that her father was once Special Forces, a soldier who had served his country with honor. But when the local officer overheard her while writing the school report, he chuckled. Special Forces. Him. The cop scoffed, shaking his head. Kid, sometimes our parents aren't what we think they are. His laughter cut deep, like a knife into Emma's pride. The officer didn't know her dad, Daniel, a quiet, broad-shouldered man who had traded the battlefield for night shifts and dishwashing jobs. To the world, he was just another tired veteran, worn down by life. But to Emma, he was everything. Her protector, her teacher, the one who bandaged her scrapes and stayed up all night to help with homework even after 12 hours of hard labor. That night, Emma told her dad what had happened. She expected him to get angry, but instead, he just smiled softly. People don't need to know who I was, he said. What matters is who I am for you now. But she saw the shadow behind his eyes, the weight of years he never spoke about. Emma knew there was more to his story, much more. A week later, everything changed. A crisis struck when a bus full of children got trapped after a landslide blocked the mountain road. Among them was Emma's best friend. Parents gathered in panic, police scrambled, and the officer who had laughed at Emma's claim tried to take charge but had no real plan. Then Daniel quietly walked onto the scene, wearing his old jacket, his daughter by his side. At first, nobody noticed him. But Emma's voice cut through the chaos. My dad knows what to do. The same cop smirked again, but his laughter died quickly when Daniel assessed the situation with calm precision. Within minutes, he was directing volunteers, organizing ropes, and mapping out escape routes like he'd done it 1,000 times before. His voice carried authority, his movements sharp, deliberate, practiced. Step by step, he led the rescue, crawling into dangerous spaces himself, steadying frightened kids, guiding parents. When the final child was brought out safely, the crowd erupted in cheers. Covered in mud, Daniel stood silent, as if none of it mattered. But Emma ran into his arms, whispering, I knew you could do it, Dad. The officer, humbled, approached slowly. His face was pale, his pride shattered. You were Special Forces, weren't you? He asked. Daniel didn't answer. He simply looked at Emma and said, I was just doing my job. My most important mission is her. Word spread through the town like wildfire. People who once overlooked Daniel began to see him differently, not just as a veteran, but as a father who had sacrificed everything for his daughter. The same cop who had laughed ended up shaking his hand, apologizing to Emma for ever doubting her. By the end of the day, Emma no longer needed to defend her father with words. His actions had spoken louder than anything she could have said. She looked up at him with teary eyes and whispered, they finally see you, Dad. But I always did. This story isn't just about a soldier's past. It's about the strength of a father's love, the faith of a daughter, and the truth that real heroes don't wear capes. They walk quietly among us. So if this story touched you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe for more inspiring stories, and remember, never underestimate the quiet ones. They might just be carrying the weight of a nation in their hearts.